Alright, Alright, well, I am trying to, since I got the dash cam in the other day, did a review on that, real quick review. I've decided to try to outfit it to work on my kayak. Of course, it's not waterproof, but the kayak is pretty stable now, so I'm not worried about it flipping over anymore. But what I've done is I got one of these cheap dollar selfie sticks, and the backup camera actually fits perfectly inside that and locks into place, and it's perfect. And I've taken the selfie stick, I cut the rubber handle off. Well, I cut the rubber off the handle. The handle's still intact, and just drilled a hole through the handle and into the crate here, and pop riveted it in place. See, you can't quite see in there, but you can kind of see it in there. But that's what I did. I pop riveted it into the crate here, and the crate's a little loose. Let me weight it down some, and it fits perfectly. And now I've also got something else coming in, so I can mount I'm going to mount the touchscreen one up here in the front, probably using the rod holder there, or the accessory mount where the rod holder used to go, probably there, but I'm going to extend it out where I can reach it. The only real concern I have is being able to cast and not snagging any of the wires or anything like that. The wire that came with it that runs from camera to camera is a little bit long, so I'm going to get a shorter one. But for the meantime, this will work. And I've also ordered a solar panel to power it all with, to keep it powered on, because it doesn't stay on with the internal battery. The internal battery is just a backup, so when the power gets cut off, it can save everything and then turn off without just being cut off. So I've got some stuff coming in for that. I've got the power supply coming in, and I'm going to run the wires. I thought about running them through the compartment up there, the hatch, and then coming up through the back over here or something, but I don't want to drill any more extra holes, so I'm just going to run it underneath and maybe under the chair, and hopefully I don't get it snagged on anything, on the anchor or anything like that. Way too much stuff up here, really, for me to be doing this with the anchors and all that, because every time I've gone out, I've gotten something snagged on the anchor and lost it. The rod holder, lost because of the anchor. My old phone is gone because of the anchor. So all this extra stuff is going to be a pain in the ass with the anchors. So I'm hoping to not need to use the anchors very often, but we'll see. I've already got this lined up, and I've done a test run where I got in it. It's a little bit low. I'll show that footage here in a minute, or if at all. It's a little low. It basically just records my shoulder. So I've got some GoPro gear. These things that came with the GoPro, I just extended them all. I'm going to put this on the selfie stick and extend it. Hopefully that'll work. That's what I'll show right now. That's how that works out. Pretty clear. I got everything I need to do. I can put right here. I can turn and look at the camera. It's better than just pointing at my shoulder the whole time. Yeah, that's a pretty good angle right there. I think it is pointed a little bit outward actually, but yeah, this works, and then the camera here in front of me works. That's going to be mounted about right there, so I can point it upwards a little bit, and I can still control it. So yeah, this will work. Alright, I got it lifted back up off the floor where I can work on it a little easier now. As you saw there, I've got everything worked out. I've ordered the bracket that fits into this with an extension arm to hold the front end camera, and it's going to be about just above the cup holder here, but not too close to me where I'm going to hit it with anything. And I need to get a shorter wire, because the wire that came with it is like 12 feet long. So I'm going to get like a 6-foot. You know what, that's like a 15-foot cord that goes from camera to camera, because it's longer than this kayak, and the kayak's 12 feet. So I'm going to get like a 6-foot cord, and run it from the front camera to the back camera, because that's how the back camera gets its power. And I should be good. And then I've got the solar panel coming in to power it with, and I'm going to use a short power cord for that. The only thing I really need to think about is how to mount this camera, because it has to hang, because you can't reverse the orientation or anything unless I do put it upside down, but then I just have to flip everything over when I go into editing, which wouldn't be that big of a deal. But I need to figure out a way to mount it, because this is not a typical like GoPro style mounting. I can take that apart and maybe modify something to hold it in place, but I'd rather not do that. So I got to figure out something to do there. Maybe mount something to the GoPro mount that'll the suction cup will stick to, but I don't know. We'll see when it comes to that. Alright, just got a couple packages in the mail, and this should be wholesale photo. Yeah, that sounds like photography gear. Should be the stuff I ordered for the... Yep, there we go, that's part of it. I don't know if I'll be able to use that. It doesn't have the joints in it like it advertised, but that's the big thing right there. I don't know what's going on with that. Look at that. It's brand new in the package, and that thing's all... It's got to be refurbished or something. That's all worn out, like it's been out in the sun. But there we go. I should be able to use this. Let's see. Yeah, see, it's supposed to have GoPro connections on it, but that's not typical GoPro connection right there. Let's see. Oh, okay, it's got a trigger release. That's cool. And then you tighten it up so it doesn't move. Okay. This is the big question right here. What's under here? Oh, it's a tripod. Okay. Not... I don't know. So this thing is a 3-way selfie stick slash monopod slash tripod. It's got the tripod base in here in the handle, but it's meant specifically for GoPros. Unfortunately, I mean, even though this looks the same as that, it's not interchangeable with GoPros. Only that end piece is. And this one's definitely not. Let me see. See if a GoPro piece will fit in here, actually. Okay, you know what? This end is actually interchangeable with a GoPro piece, but this end is not. This one's not interchangeable, so it doesn't really help me out much. I'll have to figure out something else to do with it. Yeah. That kind of sucks, but oh well. I'll figure out something to do with it. Alright, and this piece, I really got it just for this mount right here. I was hoping I'd be able to extend it some. I don't think I'll be able to. And I would say this is definitely refurbished, because the handle's not even on there. It's still in the package. And this whole thing, it's either so poorly made it looks like it's refurbished, or it's actually refurbished. So over here, you gotta put it in the kayak rod there, and it doesn't fit. Well, ain't that some crap? It's supposed to be universal, and that's supposed to be universal. It even says right there, universal, and that is a universal rod holder, but it doesn't fit. I have to drill it out and replace it with its own, which its own even looks just like that one. What? How did it go in there? None of this is working out the way I planned. Yeah, this one's a bigger diameter, so it fits in. And screw tightens into place. No, I guess it doesn't tighten into place. And of course, no, the holes do not line up. I'll have to drill new holes. Okay, so solution. Turns out this thing's also got a GoPro mount in it. And the head's inside this cap. This cap screws onto the bottom of the handle. If I can, this screws onto a regular tripod mount or something that's a little spacer that goes between the camera and that. If I can epoxy this on there about like that, get it fixed on there permanently, that would be my solution, and I could do that. And yeah, that would work for the rear camera for sure. So I'm going to try to do that. Alright, so I actually just found the weirdest solution for this. I had the selfie stick I was going to mount, and I was going to try to fix something on there to mount this to the selfie stick in the crate. But I got in one of these for my flag that goes on the back, and it just so happens to fit perfectly in there, and actually screws into place. I don't know how or why, but it's such a perfect fit, and it doesn't just come out. So I'm gonna pop rivet this into place, and then I've got myself a mount. So, and then that just comes right off, and that I can epoxy that into place so it doesn't come off, and I'm good. I just gotta find the part that I just dropped, but yeah, I'm gonna mount that right about here. And yeah, we'll get going from there. Alright, there we go. I've actually got the thing glued into place pretty well, and it just unscrews. So I can take the cheap selfie stick off the oh, well, that actually didn't glue into place, but it came off. Anyway, it still screws into place, and I think it'll hold it well enough even without glue. But yeah, do that. And it actually goes right on, and it does screw and lock into place. So, unfortunately, I wasted some rivets putting that selfie stick into place that I'm not even going to use. But this thing, I think it's rigid enough. I can move it around. It doesn't come out very easily. It's actually screwed and threaded in there. So, that works out pretty well. And if nothing else works, I can use this to mount my flag. And I can reach it from up here. Should be right over my shoulder. I can also mount the GoPro itself on there. So if my plan for the dash cam, the dual camera setup doesn't work out, I can just mount the GoPro on here. And it's on there pretty good. I can actually lift the whole kayak without it coming off. So that works. There we go. You know, I'm happy with that. That works out. Don't know how well you can see it. Let me turn the light on real quick. Get the crate out of the way. There you go. So I've got this arm mounted in place. Should be right over my shoulder. If it's not over my shoulder, I can extend that without any issues. I've got those other brackets for the GoPro. And yeah, I actually had that flag thing because I lost my last flag, so everything came in today, and I was going to just mount it in the back. But this thing worked out even better. It works out perfect. So, and I can adjust it as high or as low as I want. It's taking a completely different turn than I originally planned, but it's working. I just gotta be careful not to break that off. Alright, the front camera, it was actually a lot easier to figure out than the back camera. This piece here is supposed to fit into there, but I was able to actually take it apart and modify it and fit it to the GoPro fitting like that. So, using its own screw, of course. And yeah, see there, I've got it mounted. It might be a little bit further away from me than I would like, so I can't really reach it or adjust it. But I can add an extension to it without a problem. But for now, I think this is going to work like this. I might put it down on the floor and see how comfortable everything's going to be. But it's pretty simple. Get everything in place. Use the Gopro mountings on it for it. It's pretty loose, but that'll just make the adjustments a little easier, and that's actually the way it's designed originally. So there we go. It'll be pointing out to the front, and I'll have the backup camera behind me, over my shoulder, and I'll have two angles to work with, and a GoPro on my chest if I wanted to do that. And of course, if this doesn't work out, or if I get it tangled in my anchor line and lose it, then you know, I can just mount the GoPro on something. Gotta be careful not to flip over. I have my outriggers on. It is over my shoulder. That could be easily adjusted. Not a problem. I can also raise it, lower it, do whatever I want with it. Camera out to the front. It's pointed at the hatch. I have to do it like that. But yeah, I think this will work. I think I'm onto something here. I like this setup right now. And it's not too close to me. It's, if I keep the footrest even with that camera up in the front, I won't hit it with anything, because everything's going to be up closer to me, but I can also lean forward and reach it. That's good. It'll give me a good angle on the front. And so I think this is the best setup right here. And yeah, I think as soon as my power supply comes in and I get a shorter cord cable for this, I think I'm good to go. Alright, so this just came in the mail. It's my solar panel. It's actually got a screen protector on the inside, and it's also wrapped in this plastic bag. But I'm actually thinking to leave the screen protector on and the plastic bag on, just for some extra protection against the water, to keep it a little drier. My plan is to slip it under the bungee cord here on the front, like that. And if it works, it should power. Should have the camera over there should turn on. So let me go ahead and do this real quick. Plug the USB cord into it. Alright, put it under here. It won't go anywhere up here for sure, because this thing's holds down pretty tight. And to test it out, I'm going to give it a good light source. Now, if it works, that camera, the monitor, the screen over there should turn on. Oh, there we go. It turned on. And it's charging. It's got the charging logo showing on it to say that it's still getting power. So I think this will work. We're good. It is recording right now, but you can see right there, that top right corner shows that it is charging. So now, when I turn the light off, the camera should, well, let me go ahead and start recording again just in case. When I turn the light off, the camera should just shut down. Oh, yep, that worked. There we go. That's a successful test. I think it'll work.